Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days, and the Battlefield 5 is coming out here in a couple weeks, and no one cares. Let's be realistic here. No one gives a shit. No one cares. No one wants to play it. Right? The beta was not looked at favorably. The delay of their battle royale mode until March, especially when Call of Duty dropped Blops 4 with its blackout mode, and that is amazingly fun. It's just no one's gonna care in 6 months. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, it's coming out, right? I mean, we know Battlefield 5 is gonna be bad. All right, we know Battlefield 5 is going to tank. And Dice wants to, I think, figure out maybe why, but they're not looking at themselves in terms of from an internal perspective, obviously realizing that the way that they painted the narrative in some of these cases was absolutely wrong. In terms of gamers' response to the fictionalized fantasy world of World War II that they created, all while claiming historical accuracy. Right, because a one-armed French resistance member brandishing Braveheart makeup and wielding a bolt-action rifle is 100% historically accurate. But before we jump into that, do me a solid and throw this video a like, because it's going to be a lot of fun to go through what DICE is planning to do next, and I want to know that you guys are in on the same stuff I am. So anyway, here, this new particular posting that they're looking for here is an unpaid intern study into toxic behavior in the Battlefield community. Now, we always hear about this, right? We do. We always hear about this from a multitude of outlets saying, oh, it's always just so racist. Everything in Battlefield is toxic. The community is garbage. Yet, I have a lot of fun on those communities. Same with Call of Duty. Yeah, there are some jerks, there are some bad eggs, but they're clearly not everyone. They're just the vocal ones that you hear. But it's not hard to get a good conversation going on with people that are just there to game. You just have to kind of reach out and say hello. But this is what the listing says. They say, we want everyone to have fun playing Battlefield and participating in its community. Occasionally, some players will behave less than great, though. This project's aim is to give engineers and producers a deeper insight into our players' behavior on the battlefield to help deliver a better experience for everyone. Investigations include: what kind of disruptive behavior do we see in Battlefield today? What drives or triggers people to disrupt other people's games? How can we prevent disruptive behavior in our titles and community? What are some experiments we could conduct and to measure benefits of punishing bad or rewarding good behavior? Well, how about this? For one, you want to reward good behavior. Just make a good game. All right. Don't cater to the NPCs. Don't cater to the SJWs. Don't cater to people who aren't going to go out and buy your product in the first place. Two, explain to me where these bad people generally are coming from, because I don't ever really see them. When I play Battlefield, no one really has their headsets on. People these days don't really talk. And a lot of that, I will be fair, has to do with the whole situation involving jerks. And I get that you're trying to understand them. So you're sending in people for unpaid internships to weed out the ne'er-do-wells in the Battlefield community in order to determine and understand why this is happening. I think we've been online gaming long enough to fully understand why there are jerks who play video games. And it's very simple. I'm going to save you all this time. They're just jerks in real life. That's what they are. They're just jerks in real life. But what kind of disruptive behavior would you see in a Battlefield game? Well, we know now that teabagging is considered sexist and misogynistic, and in some cases probably transphobic. So you can't do teabagging anymore. We can't say any bad words in the chat typed out, because that ends up getting filtered, right? Remember, DLC, pre-orders, those kind of words are being banned from text chat during one of the betas. So we know we can't say anything that would be negative against EA. We know that. So that could be disruptive, because players then feel restricted and not able to express themselves. You can't teabag because it's sexist. You can't say EA sucks because it goes against company policy. What are you going to do? Play the game, please. Come on. We all know that's not the case here. What triggers people to disrupt other players? Well, again, some people are jerks and some people just want to take it out on the internet. Again, we know this, we understand this. This is not an untested, unheard of concept. And how can we prevent the behavior in our titles and community? Stop treating everything like it's the end of the world. How about that? That's a way to start there. All right. People who are jerks, put them in their own servers. You could do that. That's been done in other games before. Like the griefers go to a griefing server. That's where they end up getting locked into that list. They'll be fun in that particular echo chamber. But But again, it's kind of ridiculous. But it goes on to say here that this master's thesis is an unpaid internship for graduate students in DICE's Stockholm, Sweden office. And if you're interested in applying, there are additional stipulations saying the master thesis needs to be associated with the Swedish university education or any other type of education that has a master thesis or internship period planned into the curriculum in an area of study in human behavior such as psychology, medicine, etc. So it takes place, obviously, if you know, this is a Swedish thing, but what have we learned from Sweden over the course of the past couple of years? Nothing really good has come out of Sweden culturally in the past couple of years, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes on there that if you are a right-leaning individual, you will hear reports about how bad Sweden is and all the craziness in Sweden. You'll hear about that constantly and how Sweden has no-go zones and everything like that. You'll hear about how bad the immigrants are there. And also the Bechdel test is now officially part of their movie rating system. So again, Sweden is kind of like the San Francisco of Europe, but on crack cocaine that is tainted and made them rabid. That's how I view Sweden from that perspective. Do I want to visit Sweden? Hell yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks like it'd be an amazing place to go visit. But the culture there has problems and people do not like it. So this whole thing is going to come at that from that particular social justice lens. That's what they're aiming for here. They want the NPCs to descend upon Battlefield 5 in order to determine these particular situations for probably just to determine how to take their franchise forward. But this is the thing. When you're taking, you want a master's thesis and you're asking people to go in and kind of do this investigation into Battlefield, you figure you would want people from around the world, people from various walks of life, people from various opinions, various backgrounds to go and spend time in Battlefield to talk to people who are there, to witness gameplay, to witness certain things, and then to take notes. But that would require time, that would require resources, and that would ultimately require money. This is, again, an unpaid internship, which to me makes very, very little sense. But that being said, I am kind of curious to see what's going to come out of this because I understand they want to build and foster a positive community and they want to build and foster a positive experience. And I get that. I get that completely. As a gamer who does love DICE's games, I completely understand that. But you're never fully going to be able to do away with the human condition when it comes to games all about killing one another, right? Because here's the thing I don't get. You're telling me that the name of the game is to go and eliminate the other player, you know, bang, bang, wahoo, the other player. And then, you know, that's fine and dandy because that adds positively towards your score. But if you are to teabag that person, then that makes you a horrible misogynistic bigot. So you kill someone, then what you do afterward determines who you are. I mean, you're playing in the rules that this game has already established. So that to me just seems that it's kind of dumb to continuously talk about these issues that they already have an answer to. If you want a better community, for one, you reward the better behavior, right? People who play and that they do well with one another, they stick in their area. And those that are trolls get, you know, identified as such, get kind of sent to the Battlefield gulag for a while and let them all troll each other. And I'll tell you this, the trolls will probably end up having enough fun with themselves to without even realizing that they've been gulagged. That is unfortunately how these things tend to go, right? There's no way for having like a normie and troll coexistence. There's no symbiotic relationship there because one is there to have fun and the other is there to be a jerk. And the ones that are jerks are going to be jerks regardless. And trying to understand the psychology of human behavior in a video game when the rules are kill, 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 and get the most points seems kind of ridiculous. Because it's not like you can sit there, wound an enemy on the battlefield, go over to their bleeding out corpse and offer them a med pack in order to go, hey man, you want to go get like a cup of coffee and just say screw it to this whole war situation? No, you walk over, you pull out your sidearm and you put one round between their fucking eyes. That's what you do in that game because that is the type of game that it is. So when your game boils down to the slaughtering of other humans for the entertainment of those who are playing, can you really sit there and go, we want a master's thesis on human psychology and behavioral patterns of jerks and trolls inside of our game? You've been at this for over 20 years. Those people haven't changed. Those activities, those mindsets, those approaches haven't changed. If you haven't figured it out by now, then that's on you. But the rest of us have. The rest of us deal with it. The rest of us don't even care half the time because we're given the opportunity to mute them. And that's actually a really great way of solving the problem. because these trolls rely on being able to get a reaction. If no reaction is given, then they ultimately go away because they're bored. There you go. I just saved you bringing up who knows how many hundreds of hours of unpaid interns are going to be going through your game. Come on, Dice. Come on. Don't rely on free labor because you're lazy. You know the answers, but I don't know. Is this like a tax thing? You have to conduct a study in order to get some write-off time? I have no idea. But it's stupid nonetheless. And I ask you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions below. Do you think this is going to be good? Do you think this is going to be funny? Do you think the answer is already out there and this is just a waste of time? I'm curious to know. If you made it this far in the video, type BFV in the chat so I know. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe. And if you want to help support the channel, you can do it through Patreon, or you can become a channel member. The join button's below. Check it out. There will be some exclusive content coming out for that. And I appreciate you guys. Have yourself a great day and peace out.